Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again. We're back on Forza Horizon 5 with more La Selva Scramble Rival Series. Last time out, Dodge took the top of the leaderboard from the Chevy Camaro with the Challenger. We had a couple of Dodges get close, but none of them could match it except for the Challenger. We continue our chase for the top, now going into some Fords, I'm pretty sure. Now, Fords have a lot of different engines, I will be honest. All the Dodges use the same exact Hemi engine. And this one, well, this time it probably won't. And just to make sure that there's none in the Ferrari camp, there isn't. So we move right into Fords. We have a lot to choose from here. A lot of them tuned to this class. Some of them are even trucks. But we will keep it with classic muscle for now. Which one to go for, though? I say we start off with the Boss 302. Why? It's a nice even 450 torque and horsepower. And it's not too heavy. It's about the same weight as the Challenger that is now leading the series. So let's give it its fair shot. The 302 Boss. Fairly small engine, but that does normally mean it can rev pretty good. And we've seen so far that engines that have a lot of revs have been tending to be towards the top. Now, this may just be that, we lose less torque in a high revving engine, or it could just be that the gearing is just that way. We don't have race brakes on this vehicle, but it shouldn't be too difficult. This is a very high revving engine, $7,000. Sounds pretty good too. So personally, I'm in the Chevy fan club. I think Dodges are just poorly built, and Fords, I don't know why they're there, but I'll give every brand its fair shot. And I've tuned every vehicle that I could to this Spec Series. Some of them easier than others. So how will the 302 do? So far, it's feeling similar to the last vehicle. I think the previous vehicle was wider though, and I think that helps. It's looking like once we're up to speed, fourth gear is all we need, which is good because normally when putting in the street gearbox, fifth gear is an overdrive gear and it just sucks. Unless you have like stupid horsepower that can take advantage of it. But you do have a lot of horsepower, but not stupid horsepower with this series. So nothing can really take advantage of fifth gear. Probably should have shifted down the second there. But the more you shift, none of these have race clutches, and I'm not using manual with clutch. So it's actually sometimes a disadvantage to be shifting a lot. Likewise, I'm going to try to hold fourth gear as long as I can here. And look at that. I think the Challenger did have the best run ever onto that straight, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Can we beat it off-road, though? I know the Challenger had a great height run up here. And it has like 75, 80 foot-pounds more torque than we do, and it revs to the same RPM. So as long as we're just there, we should be good enough. I know in the Challenger I didn't take the last turn particularly good. It was just enough to beat the Camaro. Oh, we are going visiting in the trees once again. We've had a number of cars visit that area. One of the Dodgers even did a backflip back there, so you know, it's a concern to drive through there at high speeds, let's just say that. I'm going to give it a fair shot, though, for its last lap. We do seem to be evenly matched with the Challenger, through this part. It does seem to catch up pretty good, though. And I'm not sure the super tight line works for this car. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, you know, that tight line. Oh, dang. Well, would you look at that? A 127.3. That is our new leaderboard time. I'm not sure it's going to save that time. So we just have to remember a 127.3. We are 7/10 of a second faster already, and the Challenger just took the lead. I don't know what that says about either me learning the track or is it just the Ford. The Ford guys will say it's the Ford. I'll say it was my bad driving. Oh well. I'm hoping that time sticks and we can actually go up against it because we just touched the wall. We didn't gain any time. Oh well. That's quite the start to an episode, though. We already have a new leader in the Ford Mustang 302. It did not save our time, so a 127.33 is our time to beat still. Let's see if we can manage. So if the 302 was great, what about the Mach 1? Mach 1 seems like it could be fun. We're going to go through all the Mustangs, classic Mustangs at least, in this one episode alone. So next will be the 2+2. Now this is a fun car to drive. It's never been actually competitive in any game it's ever been in. Hopefully that changes, because we do have a good number for the torque, and we're not that heavy compared to, say, the Dodge Magnum. No race brakes. We're good to go. For a second I was like, holy crap, this thing goes to 8 grand? No. It goes to 6. So lower revving, potentially smoother torque band. How is its handling? Its handling is there. I'm not sure it's all there, but it's there. I do need 4th gear for this track. Hopefully that's all I need. I don't want to shift into 5th if I can help it. This is handling pretty okay. I'll give it that. How are we for speed? I'm not going up against the same Mustang as we just drove before, since that was a dirty lap, apparently. We have some good speed in this. Aw, man. We don't have the grip, though. I was kind of feeling that in the tighter sections, that we don't have the same grip as the 302 or the Challenger. But we do have some good speed. We do have a supercharger, so that might be why. It's actually been a long time since, I've had a supercharged vehicle. Other than the Mustang that just went before. Yeah, all the Dodges and quite a lot of the Chevys from before are all naturally aspirated. No going wide here. So I'm wondering why on that first run we go so wide. I'll try to find a good line. No wall tap this time. Let's go. This time around I couldn't take that tight line. I was sliding out already. So, the Mach 1, I think it has potential to be fast, but like I said at the beginning of its run, it's never been too competitive in any one of its games it's ever been in. It's a fun car though, and it's pretty rare in this game. I think it was recently re-added like a couple months ago to the playlist for you to get. And there's probably some on the auction house now. In fact, I'm quite sure that it was less than $1 million last I checked, like a month ago. So it's a good rare car that's pretty cheap. But it doesn't seem to have enough to beat the Challenger or the regular 302. Give it up for the Mach 1. Wasn't able to get towards the top though. Still over a second down on the 302. We have one more classic Mustang to go. And that will be the 2+2. And that will be our torquiest engine for the Ford so far. It gets a stupid level of torque. You can see here, the Mach 1, 538, 450 for the 302. Come over here to the 2+2, 591, almost 600 foot-pounds of torque out of its supercharged engine. And it weighs less than 3,000 pounds too. That is a pretty devastating combination in any regard. I did have to increase its front tire width because it has like 165 stock, and that's just terrible for off-road. So, did have to thicken those up, so maybe I could have gotten like an extra roll cage or something in there. But regardless, I think this has a really good chance. Now it is true that this does have the aerodynamic properties of a barn, and it doesn't actually have a high top speed no matter how much power you chuck into its stock engine, but that shouldn't matter for this course. Let us begin. $7,000 RPM. You can see the problem though with these super torquey engines. We're getting below 400 foot-pounds of torque at the top of the revs. So all that torque is just never utilized because we're never at 3,000 RPM where the torque is made. We can try to like short shift in order to get a little bit in that torque band, but then we're losing horsepower. So what's the best place to be, you know? Like right now I'm short shifted, I'm making over 500 foot-pounds of torque at all times, but my wheel speed is just not there. So third gear it is. But then we make no torque, so fourth gear it is. It's a very confusing engine for this car. As for its grip, it weighs less than 3,000 pounds, way less. So naturally it's going to have a lot of grip, and it has a high ride height. We saw some cars with, you know, less weight but not a lot of ride height, you know, just suck. So hopefully this doesn't just suck. Its speed is good across the line. 103 miles an hour isn't bad. I'm going to hold it in fourth gear. Got some great turning there. We do have nice big back wide tires. And we have good off-road grip. The only quirky thing is the gearbox. What gear do we have it in? I think fourth gear is going to be the way to go. I think third will be better for like up the last hill, but everywhere else fourth gear is good. Had to do a bit of counter steering there so I didn't go too wide. Small bonk there, no penalty. But you can see we're still losing out to the Challenger, and especially to the 302. And I can't really say why, because the 302, you know, didn't have anywhere near as much torque. And the Challenger, I think, is the same weight or even heavier than this. In fact, I know it's heavier than this. So what's going on? What I think the issue is this car isn't wide enough, and this power band is just not good enough for this track. If we put on a centrifugal supercharger to help bring the top end back up, yeah, we would lose on the low end, but how often are we in the low end in this track? And yeah, we're just using a reach blower. Maybe we're even using turbos, I do not remember. Yeah, this car just does not have enough of any one thing. It's got good handling, but not the greatest. It's got good acceleration, but not the greatest. And it's got good stability, but not the greatest. We can get close just by not sucking at that last turn, but then the better power band of the Hemi brings it back around. So 28.6, the best time we got was a 27.33 by the 302. And it's a mystery to me why that is. If you have any idea, let me know. That's going to do it for this episode, though. If you had some fun with the Mustangs, you can leave a like, favorite, comment, share, and of course, don't forget to subscribe as well. Thanks, Gambia. I'll see you all in the future.